Marie, good morning. Welcome to WNTK. Good to have you on.
Well, good morning, and thank you so much for having me on. You're certainly talking my language with the notion of small businesses being the engine of the economy. That is absolutely true.
It truly is here in the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region. We've been quite fortunate to have relatively low unemployment. That is courtesy of some of the bigger businesses, Dartmouth Hitchcock Medical Center, Dartmouth College, but also our small business communities have done quite well. And when you look up and down our main streets in Claremont and Newport and some of the other communities, Springfield, Vermont, in the WNTK listening area, and I'm sure you've seen it this week, is fairly robust downtowns amidst the nationwide cable news gloom and doom that you see every day. We've got a good news story to tell.
You certainly do. It's beautiful here in northern New England, and I have to comment on that first. Absolutely gorgeous yesterday and today. So I'm so delighted to be here. I had a wonderful experience yesterday visiting a great company right away in Manchester, and the SBA, what we do is provide what we like to refer to as the 3 C's: access to capital, access to contracting, federal contracting for business development for small companies, and access to counseling and technical assistance that help keep companies sharp and up to date and have the information and the knowledge they need to make all those tools work so that they can grow their businesses and create jobs. And that's happening here in northern New England. I saw it right away. I'm visiting a company later this morning, Sonax, and they build auto transmission parts. It's wonderful to see companies where the entrepreneur has used the resources of the SBA, and we've played some small role in their success, and that's just very exciting.
Marie, we know it's difficult to borrow money to buy a house. How difficult or easy is it to get money to start a business from the SBA?
Well, you know, we certainly since the Great Recession, when credit just absolutely froze, it's been tough for all businesses, and particularly small businesses, to get access to capital. But our responsibility at the SBA has been to look at access to capital across the continuum, whether you're a mature business like a right-of-way and may need a couple $1 million loan, or if you're just starting out opening your business and need something more in the range of $10,000 or $15,000, we have loan products across that continuum. Now, the SBA does not do direct lending. We work with banks and other lending partners like microlenders and community development financial institutions, or CDFIs, around the country to actually provide the loans. And what we provide is a government-backed guarantee to help those lenders move ahead and take that chance on a small business because of the power of the federal guarantee that the SBA provides. So we're constantly looking at the market to see how companies are able to access capital, and we know that there are still areas where it's a little tougher to do than what we'd like to see, but we are, that's why I travel so much, is to talk to companies, small companies, about all of the various loan programs that the SBA supports, and to ensure that we're also talking to the lenders and telling them about our products and making sure that those matches occur.
Marie Johns is the Deputy Administrator of the United States Small Business Administration, our guest on WNTK and WUVR this morning. In your travels around northern New England, in your travels around the country, as you deal with small business people, how did they feel about the economy?
You know, there is optimism. There is great optimism out there. No question that we're in a challenging economy. I mean, all the things that have been going on in Washington lately, the fact that we're coming out of the greatest economic downturn since the Great Depression. It is a challenging economy without a doubt. But as has happened before, small businesses definitely are leading the way. When we had the Great Recession, small businesses took a tougher hit than larger businesses, but what we're seeing is that they're bouncing back stronger than even larger businesses are, because the entrepreneurial spirit is alive and well. I was actually had the pleasure of appearing before Senator Shaheen and Senator Ayotte yesterday in a hearing in Manchester at the University of New Hampshire, and the topic of that hearing was on exporting, and that's something that's I think of great value, particularly to small businesses in this area. under the Small Business Jobs Act that President Obama signed last fall, the SBA has been given a number of new tools to support small businesses who are interested in exporting. 95% of new markets actually are outside of our borders. And so small businesses are already exporting, but we at the SBA want to see them do much more, exporting more. We want to see more companies exporting, and we want to see them exporting to more countries. And so if anyone is listening and is interested in exporting, please go to sba.gov on the web and find the SBA office closest to you. We've got lots of information to share in that regard.
We should also mention, Marie, that even though we are talking about borrowing money to get a business started, there are a number of products under the umbrella of the Small Business Administration, from writing a business plan to just keeping my business going, basic managerial tips that you offer.
You're absolutely right. You know, the other thing that has been fascinating to me in my role at the SBA is that there are a lot of folks out there, a lot of business owners who really don't have a full understanding of what the SBA does. They think of us first as a loan for our loans. But we have so much more to offer, and we have a network of over 14,000 counselors across the country. In fact, we have significantly increased our number of international trade counselors, and we have resources for businesses that are generally free or at very modest cost that can help a business from everything from deciding, if you really do want to go into business, doing an assessment of whether you really are ready to be an entrepreneur, to developing a marketing plan, looking at HR issues, human resources issues, to businesses that are much more mature and are looking to grow to that next level or to prepare to export, etc. So through our small business development centers, through our SCORE chapters, we have resource partners throughout this region and around the country who are standing there ready to assist small businesses grow and create the jobs our country needs.
Biggest mistake a lot of small businesses make? Not enough operating capital?
Well, the mistakes can be as unique as the different businesses. So that's why I would urge companies who are listening to contact the SBA and get the benefit of that business counselor to avoid pitfalls, because it's often good to have that experienced third party who can be the coach, the counselor that a business person often needs. Being a small business person can be a lonely path. I started a small business after retiring from Verizon several years ago, so I'm speaking from experience. The small business owner often is the building the plane, flying it, doing all the, washing the windows, doing the whole that have to be done. And so it's very good to have somebody else you can talk through problems with, bounce ideas off of, who has experience and can really be a good supporter. So that's the thing to do. Get an SBA counselor and then avoid those pitfalls.
And speaking to that point of starting your own business, the SBA also has information for women-owned small businesses.
Yes, we do. We have 110 women's business centers around the country, and I have been I'm so proud of what the women's business centers are doing in terms of supporting women who are starting businesses. And in fact, women are starting businesses at a much higher rate than others, and so it's a great time for women who have been thinking about starting their own business. Now's the time to contact the SBA and really look into that. There's a new federal contracting program for women. The federal government has a 23% goal of contracting with small businesses every year, and there's been a law on the books actually for over a decade for a women's contracting program that just in this administration, we've put that law into effect, and so women-owned businesses can register their companies through the SBA's website and be available for federal contracting opportunities.
Are you going to be in the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region today in any businesses? If so, which ones?
Yes, it's heading to Sonax after we finish, actually, and they're a auto transmission manufacturer. They had an SBA loan a few years ago. The company has grown from 30 employees to now nearly 150, and I'm really eager to visit because they're an employee-owned company, and just sound like a great great group, and very eager to go meet the folks there.
Well, we're anxious for you to meet those folks, and we thank you for all of the great information that you've given us here this morning, and also to the small businesses across the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region and across both states. Marie Johns is the Deputy Administrator of the United States Small Business Administration. Madam Administrator, thank you very much for being on WNTK.
Thank you very much for having me, and I urge everyone to visit SBA.gov and check out all the great information that's there.